Interviewing a friend of mine, an ex-neighbor of mine.
Yes.
And,
Oh, wow.
And talking, you're good. And talking about a 30-year anniversary in hip-hop music, Heather B. Mm-hmm. And this is just a 30-year anniversary of a House of Pain album. This isn't the 30-year anniversary of his engagement in hip-hop culture and the music business. He was signed with Rhyme Syndicate way before that. 88. So we talking 34 years celebration right here of this man that's sitting with us.
Which just means I'm old as fuck, right?
Or you started early. That's what I like to say.
No, I got signed at 17.
Yeah, you started early.
Yeah, Ice signed me young.
Ice-T signed him at 17 years old.
Wow.
I met you with Tech up at KMEL, right?
That's right.
King Tech, King Tech be everywhere, yo. I was there.
King Tech be everywhere, man.
And
That's
don't
when you
say
know it's
nothing.
official. But the one thing about this guy who wore a suit, this white guy who wore a suit that picked up the mic, is he always had bars. And if he didn't have bars, there would not be any House of Pain or no La Coca Nostra.
La Costa Nostra.
I didn't say it right, but I always fuck up trying to say it with the accent. And if he didn't have bars, Be Real wouldn't have said to DJ Muggs one day after they had an entire freestyle session on their way home, hey Muggs, you should work with him.
Facts.
And so if it wasn't because of Be Real from Cypress Hill, there may not be a House of Pain.
That's my brother to this day.
That's true, right?
Yeah. No, we just started a whole foods division of Dr. Green Thumb. Like I'm a whole other. I'm in a whole nother realm of like business at this point, trying to like develop coffees and foods. I'm trying to make Be Real like the Paul Newman of hip hop, like products.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was high one day in the supermarket and we're working on a lot of stuff on the weed side of the world.
Yeah. You don't have
And
to
then
whisper
I was
no
like.
more.
Saw all these I was in one aisle, Paul Newman dressing. Oh, salad dressing. Then I saw some popcorn. Then in the freezing aisle, there was something. And I was like, this is crazy.
He got lemonade and everything.
Yeah, I was like, I need to make Be Real. There needs to be a legit side of this whole thing, not just concentrating on the weed. Bring the weed culture out of the weed culture. You know what I mean? Into the main culture. So we're working on that right now. But that's my brother to this day because of that fact. That night, he went home and was like, Muggs, you better fuck with that dude or you're crazy.
That's what Be Real said to Muggs. And then the first song you recorded was
Jump Around.
Yeah.
So where were y'all neighbors
Wait, hold
at?
up. We got Everlast in the building.
Sorry.
Okay. Everlast lived on the same street that King Tech and I still live on.
Okay.
Remember Hit Boy said, I live on this street now. I think Hit Boy got your house.
Is that right?
I feel like Hit Boy got your house.
Well, my house was the top of the street.
Yeah. This dude used to he wouldn't even hunk at us when he passed our house.
Bullshit.
Yo, that's
Y'all were right at the
crazy.
stop sign there. I remember.
Right.
I don't forget, dude.
Yeah, we was right at the stop sign. So
That tripped me out though, because that was like 10 years after KML almost.
That's
like where
right.
I was like, "You're my fucking neighbor now, dude." That was crazy.
that was crazy, man. And that just told you we were at the bottom of the little hill that he was at the top of.
He's in the middle. Don't let him tell you. He was like in the middle. He wasn't at the bottom.
Hey, so when you think about this House of Pain album celebrating 30 years, come on, man, that's got to be surreal for you. Are you even attached to
Jump
that?
Around's still surreal, dude. It's like writing Louie or something like that. Like at this point, I'm kind of detached from it because it belongs. It's one of them things. It belongs to the world now. You know what I mean? And it's the silliest song ever, but it's fun as fuck. So I did an acoustic version, like on an album, just for fun. And when I slowed it down and made an acoustic song, and you're kind of singing the lyrics, you realize how silly they are.
Well, say them to pack it up.
Pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win, battle me. That's it's just rhymes. There's nothing in there telling a story or leading you anywhere. It's just like, I'm going to keep rhyming. It's just rhyming.
Do you think that was part of the secret to the success, though?
It was just a fun record. You know what I mean? I think that's the way that record played out was crazy because like it was just like a long freestyle. The horn wasn't in it yet. It was just chink, 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 chink. And Muggs was like, here, I got this beat. Ice Cube didn't want it. Be Real didn't want it. I was like,
wow.
I'll rhyme on it. I rhyme. It didn't have the horn in it yet, okay? Which was a game changer of the thing. Once I laid these lyrics, and it was just basically a freestyle. And I was a big Shabba Ranks fan and all this. So there was a line in the song where I was like, "Jump around if you love freedom. Jump around if you love culture." Just that. But Muggs had just come off the road of Cypress's first promo run with Leaders of the New School. And they would open their shows with getting the crowd to
Just
jump.
another case of that.
Yeah, but their first thing they would do, jump. So fucking Muggs came home. He heard me say that line. He's like, yo, get rid of the fucking the
Freedom
dance hall part. Yeah, he's like, just say jump around. And I was like, okay. He's like, and then we're gonna say jump. And so he saw that what I, he was reminded by that, by my line, and then just said, this is what we're gonna do. We did that, and then he was scratching around. And it was Divine Styler's record, the horn on there. And I was like, and the connection for me with Divine Styler, I was like, that's crazy.
So you used to write graffiti with Divine Styler.
He's my studio manager to this day.
Divine Styler?
He's in my studio right now. That's my brother, dude. We keep it 100 around my way. He got me in the game. He'll see me out the game. So
you got to know Divine. We talked about this last time you was up here, but Divine Styler gave a lot of people their style.
Oh, yeah.
Especially coming off the West Coast.
He was swagger jacked by many.
Many people. We don't get credit for the credit due.
Why not?
He was one of them cats that was just way ahead of his curve. You know what I mean? Like, people weren't ready for his. I mean, still, that ain't saying nothing record. Try to fuck with the lyrics, periodic measures to say my rhymes too much to this dope Negro type slow of a poet's tree. Let me grow my leaves, pull up my branches, roll up my sleeves. Yo, I mean, that's 1988.
Oh, yeah, that's 88.
There's cats that can't fuck with that now. I'm serious. And there's a song on his record called Tongue of Labyrinth that's just, it's dumb. He was a mad scientist way ahead of his time.
Hey, Tone, look for Divine Styler. What's it called? What's on Tone the map?
Labyrinth.
Oh, Tongue of Labyrinth.
Tongue of Labyrinth. Let's see if we can find that, man.
14 billion cells of additional walls, a year's a wall, 365 days tall, with my tongue on the floor, third eye flies over top and watch. Oh, my God, his lyrics were code. It was crazy.
Divine Styler. So he's in your studio right now.
He's he's in everything I do. Okay. My rhymes are in everything. He taught me how to rhyme, basically taught me how to graffiti. Like, I was his son before that was a whack thing to say about somebody. You know what I mean? And somehow it seems like nowadays that's not a cool thing to say.
Well, we got all of them, though, man. We got a lot of sons now, man. I run the orphanage.
Claim your kids, right?
Like back when Run would have called himself son of whatever DJ it was.
Son of Curtis Blow.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm son of Divine Styler.
There you go.
So how did you meet him? Like,
his family used to send him to Cali. He was from Brooklyn, so he used to get in a lot of trouble in school when he had to go to summer school. But his father lived in Cali, apparently, so he'd get sent out there. And we had a mutual friend, the guy Bilal, who actually wound up being my producer back then, Bilal Bashir. And I was with another kid that wrote graffiti that knew him, and I met him, and we just started hanging out at 16. I've known that guy since I was 16. Yeah.
Who would you say, Everlast, then is your son? Do you have one?
Oh, there's tons of them out there. I mean, anybody that like picks a guitar and considers himself rapping or anything, there's a lot. There's like a whole scene of like there's these, like Yellow Wolf has told me before, like, yo, you're responsible for a whole scene out here.
Yellow Wolf.
That's good.
And I took that very humble. I was like, wow, that's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of those dudes will shoot me messages like, yo, if you hadn't made Whitey Ford Sings the Blues, we wouldn't have realized country and rap were cool together.
Word.
And so that kind of thing, I think I son that kind of realm. You know, I don't know if there's many straight hip hop artists.
What about you and Kid Rock? How did y'all get along?
I mean, I know Bobby, but he's a cool guy. You know, yeah. The few times we hung out and stuff, it was all cool. You know?
Wasn't no comparisons though.
Not really, because we were similar but very different. I think he was more of that southern rock kind of thing. I was more just like a Neil Young-y. We were kind of. He was Leonard Skinner. I was Neil Young.
Okay, I get it.
Kind of.
Okay.
We weren't, but we didn't beef like that.
But y'all didn't beef like that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I always thought y'all had a similarity. But I also thought your style on Jump Around was reminiscent of Be Real.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
What happened with that was, by that time, when we first hung out on that freestyle session, I heard the first Cypress Hill album for the first time.
Okay.
And obviously short-circuited my brain when I heard that, like anybody else at the time. And then after getting the call from Muggs, like, come fuck around, I had listened to that record a few times by then. So I was really pumped up and fired up by Be Real. And he had reignited my passion to rhyme. At that time, I was already starting a band, like a rap rock band. We killed it because that MTV Unplugged came out.
That's right.
And every single rapper after that decided they wanted to have a band. And it was like, oh, well, that stole the. And then Muggs played me that album, and it went so far in the other direction. It hit me like Funky from Ultramagnetic hit me,
Okay. Wow.
or Rebel Without a Pause when I
Wow.
first heard it hit me.
Public
That's how the
Enemy,
entire first Cypress Hill album hit me. So I definitely was playing around with Be Real's realm at that moment. Yeah.
Yo, man, we got Everlast here from House of Pain, and it's a 30th anniversary deluxe edition with remastered tracks that's out right now. So Everlast is getting streaming money, Heather B.
I ain't mad at it either.
He's streaming, baby.
I do all right.
You do all right. House of Pain, let's just, we spoke on this before, but just for clarification, the name came from the H.G. Wells novel, right? Or did it not?
Yeah, the way Danny Boy had a, he tons of records and tapes and shit. And I remember seeing his tapes one day in his house, and there was a tape called House of Pain. And I was like, what is that? Because I wanted to hear it. I was like, I'm curious. Oh, that was some punk rock demo I did. It's horrible. He was like, I'm never playing it for you, whatever. It's like, I love that name. I connected it because of that movie when I was young, The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
Yeah. So H.G. Wells wrote that? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I only saw the movie. I never
H.G.
read the
Wells,
book. I'm ashamed to say I never read that book.
Damn.
But
I thought you read
so
it.
the movie resonated, but that whole like animals, man, like for some reason I saw it as a very young man, so it like kind of was one of those movies that kind of affected me. I saw Apocalypse Now when I was like 12 too, like fuck me up, like that was kind of one of those things. So when I heard House of Pain, I was like, I really like the name, and then we started incorporating it into the demos, like the movie stuff. So yeah, it was heavily influenced by that, but Danny Boy picked it because of an Oingo Boingo song that was based on that movie.
Okay.
So it all kind of ties into the movie. But there was a Oingo Boingo song called No Spill Blood.
That's an old school group.
Oh, they were amazing. And
Wow.
Danny Elfman.
I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah, that's
Danny
nice.
Elfman, he's like famous. He scores movies and shit now. But
Okay.
like him and his band, they were like a punk rock new wave band in the late '80s, but they were amazing. It was like 9 dudes, horn section, like it was.
That sounds fun.
They were in the realm of Fishbone, if you're familiar with Fishbone.
Yes.
So Fishbone, Oingo Boingo were like the two most powerful bands of that
Boingo.
nature.
Oingo
back then.
Boingo. Yeah.
They used to have a Halloween show at Irvine Meadows, which doesn't even exist anymore. It was amazing with like the Day of the Dead puppet. It was the most amazing like show ever.
Nice.
Hey, did y'all catch any, like y'all, these guys were unapologetic, brash, Irish dudes running through hip hop like, yo, we own this game.
I don't know about own it.
Okay.
That's right.
But they
Everlast,
were
correct your
definitely
man.
embraced.
They were embraced, but
Yes.
they were some cocky ass dudes.
We went a lot of places we probably shouldn't have gone,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we said we owned anything.
Okay,
you know?
did y'all ever catch beef when y'all went places? Just
Not for the reasons you might think, like as far as hip hop or us not being welcome doing it. I mean, we'd have beef just from drunken madness because we inspired that kind of dumb shit, you know? Our original goal was to be like the Beastie Boys on steroids, like, you know, like actual, like if the Beastie Boys actually got in fights and shit. That was our goal. Like, don't ask me why, but at 20, that seems like a cool thing to do. Like we were talking the other night, me and Caves, and it was like, do you remember like when we used to go out and we didn't know if we were fighting or fucking, and neither mattered. We were cool. Hey, however the night ends, it's all right. If it's a fight, if it's going home.
Somehow gonna get an F-bomb.
Sometime.
wait, somehow somebody getting effed up.
Somebody.
Somebody getting effed
Me
up.
or somebody, you know.
So what's the worst fight you could recollect you guys had? Like what was it at when y'all shot the video, the house up the
No,
jump around video?
The worst fight I ever had, I don't know. The worst like damage I ever took was from a fight that wasn't even a fight. Like I was in a club talking to some girl, and I guess apparently she had a man. He didn't like she was talking to me, reached over the top, and
that's the
stuff was
classic.
pop. My eyelid was hanging down, like open. I thought my eye was open, but it was closed, and I could see. And then I touched my face, it's covered in blood, and then like 8 or 9 of my dudes dragged that dude through the club.
Mopped
Like,
him up.
Yeah, it was
my
bad. Like, I didn't even get to put hands on him as much as I wanted to. It was like he was already done for. So.
Did you and any of the other guys in House of Pain, did y'all ever get into a fight?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about it, but yeah, we had our share. We were
What do you
brothers.
mean you don't need to talk about it? 30th anniversary.
No, because I mean, honestly, in all fairness, 2 of them ain't here.
Okay, that's
so like,
true.
but
That's
yes,
true.
we
That's
did.
true.
We had. There were physical altercations, like about 3 or 4 times.
About what though? Was it just drunken or was it business?
Pretty much just
Pretty much drunken. Yo, Everlast
or
was
not
a-
liking who the boss is.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, he was a wild
the
boy,
boss?
right? Everlast.
Are you good of apologizing though? Like if you
If I'm wrong,
okay.
yeah.
You're fine with that.
But you know.
But you broke La Coca Nostra. You guys broke up too, right? At one
No,
point?
I just left. They still do their thing. When my first daughter was born with cystic fibrosis, they wanted to keep making records like on a basis that I couldn't keep up with because I had an Everlast career. Like I make an Everlast record, I'll go tour doing acoustic shows for 2 years off it. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Like, you know, I could.
You
So
look at
like
Heather's
we made
face.
the Coca.
You didn't know
That's a
that?
stunt.
Wow.
Yeah, not arenas, but nice theaters.
Still.
You know what I mean?
They paid to get
1,000
in.
seaters. You know that about that size. You know, I'm very happy with my career, but like I couldn't. They were excited about how well that first La Coca Nostra album did, and they wanted to keep going, and I just couldn't do it, so I bowed out. I'm still cool with them all. You know, I, mean, I love those dudes. I
love
think
them.
that was one of the most amazing records I've ever been a part of.
That's one of the most amazing groups. You know, that stay true to what they do. I give credit where credit is due, right?
We had fun. We had fun.
Listen, Everlast is here. We're gonna play. What do I want to hear? Let's play the Be Real song.
I was gonna say, let's give Be Real his flowers.
Let's get Put Your Head Out. We're celebrating 30-year anniversary of
Yep.
that debut album, House of Pain. The remastered deluxe edition is available now. You can go to all DSPs, and we're gonna take your calls. 888. This is hip hop history right here.
Yes.
888-742-3345. Give us a call if you got a question for Everlast. Shade 45, man. Everlast is here celebrating House of Pain, 30th anniversary of their debut album, which was released. Jump Around will forever be a hit.
Oh, yeah. That's beyond classic.
Yo, the checks are still big from that, right? Or how does that work?
I don't know. Gatorade just wrote me one, so.
Oh, my gosh. He just stunned it right there. Was that a
Casually.
stunt? Oh, my.
Wow, yeah.
So there's a good one coming down the pipeline right now.
Good for you.
You know,
Good for you, man.
everyone's. You know, it's funny, man, because it's just a crazy thing to think about it. Like when you see something like that Wisconsin football tradition they got between right before the fourth quarter, where the whole stadium
They do the jump around, and you
They do jump around every game.
and they play that in the stadium.
I think it was voted like the #1 best college football like tradition, like as a game.
that jump around, and then you get paid every time they play it.
Yeah, but that's not a lot. That's like a fee, you know, a BMI or an ASCAP fee kind of thing. But we do business together with them a lot, you know.
Okay.
But it's just bizarre. I mean, even fuck all the business of that. Just to watch that 30
Right.
years later, 100,000
culturally.
20-year-old
Different
kids.
generations, yeah.
The cultural
Like-
impact.
Like not my generation, 2 generations down almost is
Yeah.
still bumping to it is kind of crazy to me, you know. But I over this little last few months of discussing all this anniversary stuff, I really came to the conclusion that Mrs. Doubtfire plays a huge part in this song
Because they put it in the movie.
because people that saw it as a kid now play it for their kids.
Yeah.
And that scene is pivotal in that movie. It's like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, and it's dancing with the goats, and you know, it's a crazy thing. And I think it just perpetuates. And there's a few other kid films now that we shoot for those films with Jump Around because it does that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It introduces it to the next generation of kids, you know. And that's I learned it actually from fucking with the Doors.
The
They
Doors.
would they would come over to Fred Reck's house, you know, Fred
Shout
Reck,
out to Fred Reck.
and they were always looking for people to sample their stuff. Unlike other people, they wanted sample.
Wait,
our
hold on,
stuff.
stop. Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Wait, did you say the Doors used to come to Fred Reck's house?
Ray Manzarek and Robbie Krieger, yeah, always used to come to Fred Reck's house. Yeah,
God bless Jim Morrison.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, Sway and King Tech brought Fred Reck to L.A.
That's my brother, man. Fred Reck is
Fred about it.
Fred is my brother.
Yeah.
I know you guys are tight. Like I know he's Bay
Fred
Area
used
dude.
to
Yeah.
live. We gave Fred a bedroom in the house.
But I'm saying I don't know if you know how much family he is to me at this point. in life.
Fred's. I know he's. Yes.
Yeah,
I do. I know.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I got stories about Fred me that aren't appropriate for this air right here. But
Fred got a lot of layers to him.
oh,
So the Doors would come. Damn, that is crazy.
That's bananas.
and I remember talking to them, and they were like, and they would say like, hey, anybody you know and that wants to fuck with our stuff, let us know, because they understood. Like it just all that is perpetuating the catalog down the road.
We
So,
sampled a Doors song for the Bums album, Brothers Under Madness. That were a group out of the Bay.
No, I remember the
You remember
Bums,
Brothers?
yeah,
You remember
yeah.
the Bums? We sampled the Doors, and they were mad expensive.
oh, I didn't say they were cheap.
Yeah, that was the most expensive sample we had on the
But
project.
I think that was a while back.
That was in the 90s.
Since then, they became more reasonable about it and understood the benefits to it. I think at that time it was probably just like, oh, you're stealing our shit. Streaming, all this digital shit changed everything for these guys because they understood. Oh, we can make a lot of money doing this and letting these guys do this, even if it's small pieces of a lot of little things. So
okay, Everlast hanging out with us.
So that just brings me to this then, because I'm fascinated by it. Because you seemed, and tell me if I'm wrong, you seemed excited talking about like Mrs. Doubtfire, Gatorade, like just watching it, even the football games. But then like when you Google the song, sometimes it pops up that you stopped the former president from playing.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah. So I'm just like, no, but that's
and anyone that fucks with him.
Listen, I'm 1,000%, 1,000,000% with you. But how does that work then? Because the same way you give permission, how do you stop it? Did you just send a letter?
Because I own the copyright to the lyrics and the music.
That's what we was talking about.
The whole Beyonce Khalees
thing, yeah.
But anyway, go back to that though.
Yeah. So how did
dude was playing it at his rallies, and I just didn't take very kindly to it. I'm like, nah, man, that's like saying I'm co-signing your shit.
Yep.
Fuck you.
That's what it made it look like.
Who do you send that message to?
Just my lawyers.
Okay, and they figured out. Yeah,
they figured out. It's decent, cease and desist them. And, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. So,
dude, I lost like 40,000 followers on Facebook and other places, like immediately. And then gained back like 70. It was crazy. It was wild.
That's how divisive of a person
it was
he is.
wild. I was like, oh, man. I mean, it was just crazy. But like, yeah, no, fuck that dude.
So how do you rectify that with Kid Rock, who's an avid supporter of that dude? He's your friend. And you say, fuck that dude and everybody that support him.
Well, I would say that as far as that part, fuck him on that part. But like, and calling him my friend we don't hang out every day. What I'm saying is like, I like Bobby. I like Bobby. You know what I mean? And people can have differences. I don't agree with anybody that fucks with that dude. But I also, on the same note, will say I was shocked to find a lot of reasonable people back then that I found smart supporting that shit.
Okay, that makes sense.
So okay. I could either be like, fuck you and fuck all them to people I know. And when I say that, I mean it in the sense of like, you're an asshole.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my book.
Okay.
But at the same time, if I just reject you and I'm just going to end friendships over that without even trying to discuss it with them, how's anything ever going to change?
Yeah.
You know, if I can't say to you like, hey man, your man's an asshole. Then you're gonna fuck around with an asshole the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Or at least I can say like, well, I did my part. I told you that dude was an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
for clarity, I just that you wasn't saying it was your friend, it was somebody.
I would say we're friendly.
Cool.
We're not friends in the sense I don't have his phone number in my phone. You know what I mean? But if I see Bobby, it's all love. I ain't gonna shit on him for that. But I'll be like, hey, dude, you fucking with that bullshit, dude.
It's just we're in that era where I'm just trying to be clear about what's being said. That that's all.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not rocking on that side of things.
There you
Never
go.
have been.
Exactly. Jump around, jump up, and get down.
You know what I mean? We got. I'm surrounded by Mexicans and black folk where I'm at. I'm literally like I don't see a ton of white people like in my social circles.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood, I do, but not in my social circles.
Yeah, I lived in your neighborhood. I know who in there.
Well, I'm over in Topanga now, so I'm not far. Not far from there.
Okay.
No. So I'm where the hippies are now. All the hippies
you on
are
top of Topanga.
It's all hippies.
On top.
It's about I don't want to give too much away.
It's a big
Sway
street.
be judging everything by them hills.
What part of the hill you on? You on the bottom or you on the top?
Them robberies be happening
The
too
top
much.
much better than the bottom.
Stupid.
All right, we got
my view is nice.
Did he just stunt right there? All right, Everlast here. Becky's on the line. Thank you for your patience, Becky. Becky's in New Hampshire. You want to talk with Everlast at 888-742-3345. Becky, rise and shine.
Hey, Bex.
Hi, good morning.
Is this Becky with the good hair?
Tracy G.
You know what?
Good morning, Heather B.
Hey, girl.
Good morning, Everlast.
Good
First,
morning.
before I ask my question, I got to say this. I'm almost 40. I grew up, 80s baby, 90s kid. So I saw Sway on MTV growing up. You really wanted to inspire me to get into doing that kind of work, which never happened. Heather B., I saw you on The Real World.
Hey.
So, yes, The Real World, yes. I grew up watching that.
Thank you.
And Everlast, yes. I got to tell you, Everlast, your song, Jump Around / House of Pain, that was probably one of the highlights of not just my childhood. I think I can speak for a ton of us in my generation.
Absolutely.
Your song was like, oh my gosh, it still gets me amped up to this day. Me and my husband still like to jump around and try to get our kids to get moving to it. I'm fangirling right now, so I apologize.
Oh no, thank you very much.
That's
I'm
love.
smiling ear to ear. That's appreciated. That's all a musician really is looking for, is beyond trying to get rich and famous.
Yes.
But even more now, seriously, like when I get messages about any songs or anything like that and what they've done for people, it's something I take to heart, because that's really what's going to count at the end of the day. When I'm gone and you speak on what got done and what got made. That's the important part, is what it did and how it affected people. So thank you very much for your input.
Who
You're
mixed
welcome.
that
You're
song?
welcome. So my question is, I grew up an
I thought
hour
you
from
was
Boston, and my husband's from Boston. So we wanted to know, with your song "Jump Around," if people thought you either had ties to Boston or were from Boston. Due to the
I'm
references
still
in the song and the video.
considered to be from Boston by 90% of the world. We just accepted it and stopped
Arguing.
we just took the adoption and said we're from Boston. Cool.
Y'all wore them Celtic jerseys, man, right?
Well, when I go to explain it, it makes a lot more sense. It's like, you got to remember what jersey I wore and what it represented.
Okay.
All right. I was representing that I was the baddest white boy in the game. You
What's
know
his
what I mean?
name, Larry Bird?
And that's what the jersey was. So that's what I was repping. And but I'm gonna have to do this to this day. I mean, I love the Celtics, but I'm a Lakers guy. So I'll root for the Celtics against anybody except the Lakers.
Okay.
So he was basically with me and Tracy during this last thing with the
The funny,
Warriors.
at the 25th anniversary, we did a tour, and I was in Boston and literally wore my Celtics jersey out and whipped it off in the middle of the song, and it was Lakers jersey on it.
Did you get your ass beat?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't in the middle of the song.
Okay.
It was right before Jump Around. I was like, and I was talking shit, making a joke, and I was like, I love Boston. And it was like, and this song right here is the only reason I could do this. And I whipped off the shit, and it's Lakers, and it's boo. We're the headlining act. Boo. Whole crowd almost ate shit.
What a point.
That's why I was going to ask you, who mixed that song? Because the build up to me is what I just always remember. And you used to see the hardest dudes in the club, even in New York, just jumping.
I know Muggs he had an engineer dude named Jason something. I can't remember his name.
okay.
But Muggs primarily was the driving force of everything he did at that point. At that age, he was like a madman about control.
Build up was crazy on that.
So do you feel lucky, or do you feel like, dang, I put in a lot of work and I got the outcome that I should have?
Both.
Okay.
Both. It's definitely. I mean, young. Somebody told me it's 5% talent, 95% hustle. You know what I mean? So it's both. And the planets got to line up for something like this to happen with us.
Yeah.
Anybody with a monster song, will tell you that. That didn't. I mean, you can make hit songs. You can do that. You can go out and spend $500,000 on a song, and make it a hit. You can't do this with a song that just stays 30 years.
Through generations.
Yo, he just
Right
You know what I
there,
mean?
that code he just gave
just
to
gave
all
him-
record companies.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's dead ass. I mean, it's so out there. You can look it up. You can find out how to do it. You spend $300,000, you'll have a hit record.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's not that fucking hard.
Right.
Jeff from Massachusetts, you got a question?
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's going on, guys, man? I just wanted to say, first of all, that I love Everlast, man. Right since from
I
the
love you
beginning,
too, brother.
and everything that was affiliated with it, man. That shit had me and all my boys just wilding out every time that shit came on. Like all the songs, not even just.
Jeff, what's your question, bro?
What's up, Jeff?
Jeff, what's your question?
All right, so I just wanted to know, so what's going on between you and Eminem? I mean, I know all that bullshit was going on back in the day, but now you on his station doing doing an interview. I'm just wondering, is you guys' relationship, I mean, cordial now, or what's
Here's the
going on
deal with that. Like, we had our moment. The dude never ever banned me from this station like he's done to a lot of people.
Everlast, you gotta turn your mic off and go home now. I can't even deal
Go ahead,
with
go ahead,
you
go ahead.
at all.
Am I lying? Am I lying?
Go ahead, man. Just go.
Is that false information? Because if it is, let me
Let
know.
me
Because
say
I'm working
this, let me say
I'm working
this.
with the information I'm working with. That's all I'm doing.
Eminem has personally never banned no one.
Well, there's people who have not been allowed up in here.
Okay, but
that
it
I'm
wasn't
aware
because
of.
of
Okay,
Eminem.
cool.
Okay,
That's
okay,
fair enough.
okay.
I'm not. I don't have knowledge that was the
Okay,
case.
okay.
But let's say some people can't come up here, and you would think I would be one of them at some point, and I never was. I've always
even
heard that
during
dude.
those-
Wait, hold up, Jeff. Let him
your
answer.
joint
I'm answering your
down.
question,
Joint
man.
down, man.
I'm answering your questions. Put the joint down for a minute. Put it in the ashtray. Turn the radio up. Here we go. I've always been told dude actually liked me. I've always liked dude. It was kind of just a misunderstanding when we met. I took it personal. I said something on a record in code, and he caught it. Said something back, like he was a sharp dude. Caught it, and then I had to respond, and then it just kind of went nowhere. We had too many friends in common. They were all boom, boom, and like Frederick being one of them was like, dude, he really fucking, he's bummed he was a fan before this, and I was like, well, I'm a fan too, so it kind of just died off, you know what I mean? And then like a couple years ago, I was listening to one of his records, and he says something like, I'm everlasting, I'm like the Whitey Ford or the Mighty Thor, and I like listened to it like 40 times trying to find the diss.
Wasn't
And
a
I'm
diss?
like, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so as far as I know and am concerned, I don't care. I mean, the dude's all right with me. I think he's one of the best rappers to ever live. We had our moment. We'll never be best friends or anything, but I got no beef with Guy.
There you go, Jeff. You
Nice.
got that, Jeff? You happy, Jeff?
Man.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're a citizen. All right,
Sway
get
the
out of
boy.
there, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.
Get out of there, Jeff.
Have a good weekend.
Yo, man, we got to do.
I want you. You gotta come to the
back.
house.
You
You
gotta
gotta come to the house.
Give me a show, dude. Let's
Okay, you want to do something? Okay,
Yo.
let's talk about it. I think there's something in there.
Yo.
Let's do the Whitey Ford podcast. I'll set you up.
I'm in. I'm down. I got nothing to do.
Okay, let's talk
Somebody
about it.
retired.
Semi-retired.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I just got to go to the mailbox once or twice a day, grab a check.
He's stunning
y'all
again,
are
Tone. I don't know if you heard.
Now
that.
you guys got me going,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I see you're enjoying, so I'm continuing.
No, well, we like your success. I personally like it because I was there.
I like it too. My children love it.
And they love it, and then the family loves it. Listen, 30-year anniversary of the debut album House of Pain. Let me tell you something. There's a deluxe remix, remastered version that's available now. I'm proud of you. You have to come back.
Yeah.
Next time you're in New York, let's continue.
I always
Where does
holler
he
when I
live?
come
Yeah.
when I come to town.
In California?
Yeah,
Cali.
So he got to come to Cali.
Oh, we're doing a Cali broadcast later
I'm
this
there.
month.
I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me know.
Love you, man.
See?
Everlast, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, yo, when I say I love you,
You know it's facts, man.
Okay.
30 years I've known you.
okay.
All
Come on,
right.
brother. Come on, man.
It's all love,
you,
man.
And we